The world of boxing has never been short of arrogance, but few fighters have been foolish enough to taunt the fiery spirit of Saul, Canelo, Alvarez, and live to tell the tale. The Mexican master of the sweet science has built a career not only on brilliance and skill, but on punishing those who dare to disrespect him. Every challenger who stepped into the ring hoping to humiliate him ended up paying a brutal price, and time after time, Canelo turned arrogance into ashes. The story of Canelo's rise is not just about titles and belts, it's about dominance, retribution, and the unwavering pride of a man who fights not just for himself, but for his country. Back in 2015, when Canelo was still rebuilding after his first career loss to Floyd Mayweather, he crossed paths with a man who truly underestimated what kind of storm he was about to face. James Kirkland, known as the Mandingo Warrior, was a beast of a puncher, 28 knockouts and 33 wins, and a reputation for violence both in and out of the ring. He was brash, reckless, and loud. Kirkland promised a war, saying he would smother Canelo with non-stop aggression, that he'd be so close Canelo could smell his breath. But those words would come back to haunt him. When fight night arrived, under the deafening roar of more than 40,000 fans, Canelo turned the ring into his hunting ground. Every punch landed like a thunderclap, and every exchange pushed Kirkland closer to disaster. By the third round, Canelo's precision and power broke the Mandingo Warrior down completely. One monstrous right hand sent Kirkland collapsing to the canvas, unconscious before he even hit the floor. It was one of the cleanest, most devastating knockouts of the year, and a chilling reminder of what happens when you mistake Canelo's calm for weakness. But his road was never free of snakes. In 2009, during his early years, Canelo met Leonardo Tyner, a fighter with fists of stone and a mouth even sharper. Tyner was not just a boxer, he was a street brawler bragging about fighting with bats and guns and carried himself like he feared no man. When he mocked the young Mexican, calling him soft and untested, the die was cast. Once the bell rang, Canelo unleashed the fury of a man possessed. Like a raging bull, he attacked with relentless aggression, driving Tyner into the ropes and pounding him with every ounce of strength in his body. Even when Tyner tried to fight dirty, landing wild shots and sneaky blows, it only fueled Canelo's rage. The young prodigy adjusted, regained his rhythm, and unleashed a storm of punches that left Tyner broken and humiliated. When the fight ended, Canelo didn't just win on the scorecards, he destroyed Tyner's arrogance forever, proving that even as a teenager, he was built for greatness. Years later, in 2021, when Canelo stood on the brink of becoming the undisputed world champion, another loudmouth emerged to test his resolve. Billy Joe Saunders, a skilled and undefeated British fighter, strutted into the build-up with supreme confidence. With a 30-0 record, he believed he would outbox Canelo with ease. His team predicted domination, mocking Alvarez as just a little ginger who didn't belong in the ring with him. The press conferences were full of disrespect, but Canelo didn't respond with words. He responded with cold silence, saving his vengeance for the ring. When fight night came, the moment the first bell sounded, Saunders realized he had misjudged the man in front of him. Canelo's punches thudded into his body and cracked against his head like sledgehammers. Still, Saunders kept taunting, sticking his tongue out and smiling. But that bravado vanished when Canelo landed a savage uppercut in the 8th round, shattering Saunders' orbital bone. The Brit couldn't see, couldn't continue, and his corner had no choice but to stop the fight. It wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. Canelo had unified yet another title and silenced another fool who thought he could dance with the king. Not long before that, in 2019, Canelo had taken one of the boldest challenges of his career. He moved up in weight to face Sergey "Crusher" Kovalev, the Russian light heavyweight champion, a giant of a man who had demolished legends like Bernard Hopkins and dominated the division. Kovalev laughed at the idea of Canelo beating him. He said Canelo was too small, that he would crush him easily. But the Mexican warrior had other plans. For the first half of the fight, the Russian used his long reach and heavy jab to control the pace. Each round, Kovalev's punches pushed Canelo back, and the commentators began to count him out. Yet behind that calm face, Canelo was calculating, conserving energy, studying every movement. By the 7th round, he began to close the distance, landing precise counterpunches to the body and head. Then came the 11th round. Canelo feinted, slipped inside, and unleashed a perfect right hand that detonated on Kovalev's chin. The Russian collapsed instantly, lifeless on the ropes as the referee waved it off. In a single moment, Canelo became the light heavyweight champion of the world, shocking the boxing universe and proving that no mountain was too high for him to climb. Canelo's journey was littered with braggarts who mistook his humility for weakness, like Austin Trout, the undefeated champion he faced in 2013. Trout entered the fight full of swagger, claiming he would outclass Canelo and make him look foolish. But in boxing, talk is cheap. Once the opening bell rang, Canelo hunted him down like a predator stalking prey. Every exchange ended with Trout backing away, unable to withstand the power of Canelo's counters. Trout's punches were wild and desperate, and Canelo slipped them with ease, answering with thunderous combinations. As the rounds went on, Canelo's dominance grew, and when a crushing right hand sent Trout stumbling in the 7th round, it was clear the fight was over. Canelo had broken him physically, mentally, and spiritually, securing yet another statement victory and silencing another doubter. In 2019, Daniel Jacobs became the next man to make the same mistake. Jacobs was confident, brash, and convinced he was the best middleweight in the world. He promised to humiliate Canelo, even boasting that he wanted to hurt him, to embarrass him in front of millions. But when the two finally met in the ring, Canelo didn't just fight, he dissected. From the opening round, Alvarez's footwork, defense, and timing were flawless. He made Jacobs swing at air while countering with pinpoint combinations that snapped his head back. Every time Jacobs tried to adjust, Canelo found a new angle, dodging punches with reflexes that looked almost supernatural. As the rounds passed, Jacobs' confidence drained away, replaced by frustration and exhaustion. By the final bell, the outcome was beyond doubt. Canelo won by unanimous decision, but more importantly, he once again reminded the world that arrogance always meets its reckoning when it stands across from him. Canelo, Alvarez's career has become a gallery of poetic justice. Each fight a story of a loudmouth silenced, each victory a reminder that respect in the ring is earned, not demanded. The man who started as a teenage prodigy with fiery red hair has grown into one of the most feared and respected fighters of his generation. His knockouts aren't just physical, they're symbolic, a punishment for those who confuse kindness for weakness and mistake confidence for cowardice. He doesn't just beat his opponents. He dismantles their pride, erases their swagger, and leaves them humbled before the roar of the crowd. Canelo's story is one of grit, revenge, and honor. Whether it's Kirkland's brutal knockout, Saunders' shattered face, Kovalev's shocking collapse, or Jacobs' humbling defeat, each chapter of his career has reaffirmed one undeniable truth. Underestimate Canelo Alvarez, and you will pay dearly for it. His fists don't just throw punches, they deliver justice in its purest form. What do you think, fight fans? Which of Canelo's fights do you believe was his most devastating masterpiece? Do you think anyone in today's boxing world has the power or skill to truly challenge him at his peak? Let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Canelo's most iconic punishments, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dive fight stories. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss another episode of boxing history brought to life. Until next time, stay sharp, stay passionate, and remember, legends like Canelo don't just fight, they define the sport itself.